Awesome, dude. That's
What's up, Insurance Pros community? I'm here with the man, the legend, Cody Askins. My man, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's dive right into what is really impacting the insurance industry, and let's talk about leads. For those people who are on here that don't know the full story, can you dive into what the FCC did in December of last year and what it means for insurance agents?
yeah. So the FCC is tired of leads being distributed to 4,000 agents all the time. You know what I mean? And people just getting hammered forever when they fill out a form. And so what they're really trying to do is something called one-to-one consent, where if someone fills out a form, they know exactly who the information is going to, and they're literally contacted by one person. That is something that's been, I believe, even though, revolutionary, and people are like, initially they think, well, maybe this is negative because it's a change.
Mhm.
I think our industry, unfortunately, publicly doesn't have the best name, so to speak, reputation. However, I think this could help that. And I don't really like, if I'm a consumer, I don't want to fill out a form and then it be a new lead and an age lead and go to 12 agents and then resold 4 years later. You know what I mean? So I think long term it's good, even though it will change up the way marketing companies and lead vendors, et cetera, approach it.
Awesome. What has happened so far in the industry since this came out? Like, what changes have you seen in the insurance space?
Yeah, I have seen aged and shared lead companies freaking out, frankly.
Mhm.
I've seen aged lead vendors, start to think about, okay, what do we do in the future when, when we don't have FCC one-to-one consent on these millions of pieces of data. I've also, I mean, personally for us, we have where we are doing leads much different than we ever did. And that's actually why we created Kaboom as an example.
Yeah.
It's because we wanted to stay ahead of compliance.
Mhm.
I've been in enough lawsuits. I've, been a part
Yeah.
of, I've been a part of, FTC and these types of lawsuits in the past. And I'm like, you know what? I've learned a bunch. I want to make sure that we're always compliant, even though I
Mhm.
believe we were anyway. I want to get ahead of what's coming as well. I think that's important for businesses, is to always stay ahead of the curve. That's why I love doing stuff with you,
Yeah.
being a part of your community, because you're always up, on the up and up of what's happening. Hey, don't do this. Hey, don't try that. I've always respected that. And so that's why we are literally building a brand new campaign for every single agent. Their
Yeah.
pictures on it. Their name is mentioned like 8, 9, 10 times. Their phone number is sent. Their national producer numbers included. Like we are way above board and trying to do everything we can to also build trust with prospects as well.
Yeah. I mean, what you guys are doing, honestly, when it comes to lead vendors, is so far above and beyond what you're asked to do. And I
That's fun.
think it actually turns every single lead that you deliver into a really good lead. Because now when the person calls them, right now they're like, oh, I know you. I see your face.
Yeah.
Like, I know your phone number. It turns them into a really, really good lead. On the flip side, how would you define a bad lead delivered by a lead vendor, assuming everything is compliant? What is a bad lead?
Yeah, yeah. Also to answer that question too, and then I'll jump to bad lead. It's
Yeah.
the way we do it is not the most efficient.
Mhm.
It's not the fastest, and it's not the most profitable way for a vendor to do it, because vendors would prefer, just to educate the audience a little bit more,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, prefer here's your funnel. They would prefer leads to just constantly go through the funnel, and then out the bottom of the funnel, they choose who the lead goes to and round robin or share them amongst a bunch of agents after the lead goes through the funnel. Well, the way that we do it is it's your funnel. The lead exclusively only goes to you, and the prospect knows where it's going because we tell them in the lead form, the thank you page, we text them and we email them to let them know here's what's happening. You've been assigned Alex Branding. He's assigned to help you. He'll reach out in the next 24, 48 hours. Here's what he looks like. Here's his national producer number to let you know
Yeah.
he's legit and he's here to help you. And if you want to call him or right now, or you want to see what number he's calling from, here's where he's going to be calling from. It's very revolutionary. I've never heard of a vendor doing all those
Yeah.
things.
It's
So
incredible.
we try to eliminate the bad leads as much as we can right now. Will they occasionally be a lead that an agent thinks is a bad lead? Yes. Here's how I define a bad lead. Because if you think about it, a vendor or a marketing company can't completely control if someone answers the phone.
Right.
Now, we've added 2 phone numbers to every single lead. And we even have one number that's like, what's the best phone number to reach you at? And I even put in parentheses, if we can't reach you, we can't help you. Now, I've heard of
Oh,
some other
nice.
companies starting to use that language now, which is good. If we can help other people in the business, great. I think of a bad lead. I don't know that no lead's ever bad if they truly, and in our case, they 100% always opt in for information.
Right.
They raise their hand and request info. The only time it could be a bad lead to an agent, and then in a few cases, you could say, well, I'm not licensed in that state.
Mm.
Well, freaking sell it and get a license,
Yeah.
but maybe you don't want to. So we'll replace it, right? As a bad lead. If it's like, and we try to alleviate it as much as possible, but if it's like a disconnected number and you just can't reach it, okay. What's funny is I get that. That's a bad lead. If someone is saying, even though what's funny is our top agents that we work with, here's a big tip. They see the lead, the phone number is not right or disconnected or whatever. They go online and like start searching on
Ooh.
white pages in different places, and then they get the right number. We've had agents that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year get leads with bad phone numbers and still sell the lead.
That's incredible because they're going after it, man. They're hungry. That's why they're at the top. That's why they're making so much money. They're hungry for it.
100%. They want to
They're not letting
win.
a typo get them away from the sale.
Correct. And that happens a lot, by the way. Someone just barely but puts their email in
Yep.
wrong. I do it all the time.
Yep.
Phone
Same.
numbers.
Same.
I did it the other day. I was doing a demonstration. I'm like, why am I not getting this text? The team's like, well, you put 4396. I'm like, oh my gosh, I put my own number wrong, right?
Yeah.
So it happens. There is user error. For our annuity leads and our IUL plus leads, we actually do AI phone verification where we text them a code that they have to go back in and put in the funnel. That's
Ooh.
helped. That's helped a lot with validity. So I mean, there's a lot of things you could talk about when it comes to bad leads, but at the end of the day, agents also could get a little more creative and work a little harder. So it's like, are there any bad leads? What's crazy is if you said, Cody, I'm going to give you this person's information and their phone number is going to be wrong and it's going to be in the wrong state. And if you get a hold of them, you get $10,000. Dude, I'll get a hold of them today. I don't care what
You'll
information
figure it
you
out.
provide me. I will reach them. What's funny is, here's an example. This is a wild story, but I'll be brief. My sales team was complaining one day. So I said, okay, I had 5 sales reps back at the time. This was years ago. I said, I never told this story actually. I said, every single one of you, I said, find one person in our database who will never do business with us again. There is 0 chance they ever purchase any product from us ever again. Put their name on a Post-it note, give it to me. I had 5 Post-it notes. I said, if I don't close it today, I'm going to give you $100.
Nice.
I closed 4 out of 5 same day.
Yeah. No excuses, man. If you're hungry enough, you'll make it happen, right? So let's get back to that. I didn't know that you did the verification where they fill it out, you send a text, and then they plug it in. What is the reasoning behind that? I mean, that's like you're making them jump through hoops, which I love because that's like now they're really showing that they want it. But
Correct.
what was the purpose behind it, and what are you guys seeing as far as contact rates on those?
Yeah, the contact rate is definitely increasing. It's also increasing our costs and like 50% to double on the CPL. It is so we only do it currently on annuity and IUL plus leads.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work it into other leads too, but it does add a cost. Not the text sending, or the AI feature. It's just some people don't want to jump through all the extra hoops, and so then like they stay top of the funnel and they never actually come through the funnel. That happens. But we are absolutely seeing a better contact rate. And an agent would say, well, dude, if I knew that phone number was going to be accurate 100% of the time, and it was actually their cell phone number, well, that does that because it's like I get a text to my cell phone. I have to go back in and put it into the funnel and verify it's my actual real cell phone before I can even continue through the funnel.
Wow.
So it absolutely does help and increase it. Can we do it on everything? Not yet.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. I love
But
that.
we're constantly innovating. Like I think people need to innovate and always want to be better and improve what they do, right? Just like you.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So let's take a step back. Let's pretend Cody is back when you were just getting started. You told the story a lot, but about just how successful you were the first year. So let's say you're starting today as a brand new agent.
Mm.
What would you advise the new agent on lead buying? What is the best practices for that with everything that's been going on the last few months?
Yeah, and I think some of these things they're not going to like, but this is if I was trying to maximize my year and make the most amount of money I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Full transparency, right? And this is what I would do if I was in your shoes, guys, not just because I also sell leads,
Yeah.
right? So the answer is going to be sure it's going to be self-serving, sure, but it will absolutely work, right? I just got off the phone with a big agent who writes about $400,000 or $500,000 a year. They're working our leads and they're doing some of these things I talk about. We just had like a little strategy session, so it's a very fresh timing.
Nice. Nice.
Some of the things, right? So like uh, getting to where a lead knows who you are before you call them helps. Is it required? No. People have made tons of money without people having any clue who they were, right? I made a bunch of money cold calling. However, that helps. But the biggest thing with leads is if you're someone that tries the smallest batch possible and you don't have the highest of success the first time, and then you jump to another place and you try a small batch. You jump to another place and try a small batch. Well, guess what happens with leads? Not every batch is created equal. Not every week is going to produce the exact amount of money and sales every single lead batch. So here's some rules. Okay. Don't buy the minimum.
Right.
Never buy the minimum. You need to give it a shot. Also, never do it for 1 week. You should be trying a lead source for at least 3 to 6 weeks at minimum before you can really see what it can consistently produce. Like, I'll give you an example. My buddy Mike Hall was like, hey, I wrote $5,200 last week off your mortgage leads, which we just started doing the last month. I've been testing it for months, or your mortgage protection leads. He said, dude, he's like, I'm confident after testing out a bunch of these that if you give me 40 to 50 of these a week, I will write 8 to 10 apps and have a 16 to 25% close rate overall on digital mortgage protection. Well, what did you hear? He said, I need so many leads and I needed so many per week.
Yep.
Most agents ride this roller coaster wave we call the insurance industry, and 92% fell out of the roller coaster that we call the insurance industry because they do not give things a chance. They're extremely impatient. They want overnight success. They won't commit to a plan for a year. They won't even commit to a CRM for a year half the time, even though that's absolutely what they should be doing because you can constantly improve every piece, right? So when I think about this stuff, I'm thinking about, okay, I need so many, so I need to be consistent. So when I was selling part-time, dude, I knew if I actually ran 10 to 15 appointments, I was making 2 to 3 grand that week at minimum, like clockwork. And so you've got to find what works for you and make it a duplicatable system that will predict and produce so much success and money every single week.
I love it. So I can tell I'm getting into an area that you're passionate about because
Did I start talking faster?
Yeah. You're like, I can see it in your hands and everything. So with agents, we talk about like, okay, you're just getting started, start buying leads. Should they be setting up their own marketing campaigns? Like, what is the things that they should do on the side to build their brand online and complement what they should be doing with lead buying and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I won't say it isn't bad to learn. It is good to learn. But here's what happens. Agents end up spending all their time trying to like learn ads or manage ads. And then they end up spending more time managing campaigns than they actually do on selling. But and in reality, you're not a marketing person. You are a salesperson that has to spend every waking second prospecting and selling, or nothing else matters, right? And so I would say that. I would also say that like social media absolutely helps. Can you make a bunch of money, doing your own marketing? Sure. Yes, you could. People do. Can you do it just buying leads? Yes. Could you do it just doing social media without buying leads or spending money on marketing? Yes. The thing is, you've got to figure out what avenues you want to focus on every single week, because I call it like super shiny squirrel syndrome.
Yep.
Like every single agent's like, oh, what about this thing? Or what about this thing? Or what about this thing? Like they're like, oh, that guy's got some special thing in his with his leads or his CRM that it's technically illegal to use right now, but man, it sounds good. I'm thinking about, you know what I mean? It's like, guys, what are we talking about? Like, like the best way for you to be a business owner that consistently finds success is find your lane,
Yes.
find your avenues. Social media and social selling and putting out videos consistently can produce results. I think it's a better move to supplement leads with social media than
Yes.
actually learning ads. I really do personally, because I've built the brand the last almost 9 years where we have over 350,000 agents every week watching our content. It works. I have leads coming to me every 4 seconds now. Well, that's good, but it took time, even with the whole like, oh, I'm going to add social media. Great. It's easier to learn actually than
Yep.
the ever-changing, evolving freaking Facebook ad, Google ad, TikTok ad, YouTube ad campaign, and like, all the stuff every 4 seconds where it changes, right? Just like compliance seems to. Well, it does. However, it's something to where you can get good at, but most people give up too soon. They want
Mhm.
overnight success. Dude, I want to get rich quick too, but I've never gotten rich quick. I just
Right.
haven't. It sounds amazing. I would love to get rich quick, but nobody that I know has ever gotten rich super quick, right? Unless you
Yeah.
have like the perfect feat for OnlyFans, dude, you ain't getting rich overnight. Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that, you and I have chatted about is the speed to getting success. And one of the things that I see a lot of agents struggling with when they try to do their own marketing is, A, they get frustrated with the process. B, man, the costs are not the same week to week. Like I do my own marketing,
Oh,
man, it is like a roller coaster. But when you buy leads, it's like set. So if you're an agent right now,
correct.
listening to this, listening to Cody and Alex talk about marketing and generating a consistent cash flow, do your own social media for sure. People need to know your name, your face, like that's super important. Two, buy leads at a regular basis. Man, if I could buy leads for my thing, I would do it all the time. Three, if you want to experiment with your own marketing, great, but do not solely rely on that when you have a family to feed, a team to produce for. Like you
Correct.
are going to see some crazy ups and downs. You mentioned a couple agents that you work with now. I know a few of them have tried marketing on their own and they just went back to buying leads because the lead cost is going up and down and there's
And
just so much going on.
it's easy to promote. It sounds sexy. It sounds new. It sounds
Mhm.
cool. Like I even was one of those guys where it's like, dude, you got to learn this. But dude, we're managing about five to 600 orders per month for insurance agents through Kaboom. Every single day, I get a list of problem campaigns,
Yeah.
things that agents would never know, but internally, like I'll give you an example. We're working on an order right now that their annuity leads went to 458 per lead, and they bought them for 2.25. I'll give you
Wow.
another example right now. Literally, this individual, okay, $44.84, if you can see that right there. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, what does that mean? I've spent $1,749 on this person's order for 39 leads. The average lead is $44.84. They paid less than that. And I also have a bunch of replacements to provide. Now,
Wow.
that's the lead vendor's fault. That's
Right.
okay. The agent's still going to win. The agent still wrote $5,200 from that. Okay. So but if you're an agent and your lead cost 4X's one day, or Facebook changes something. And then like
Yep.
last week, I got I got, I got over 200 leads in New York that I didn't want because of some new feature that Facebook just wanted to add that we didn't start to add with our stuff, right? So as you think about that, dude, if I'm an agent, it should scare me to death. It should terrify
Mhm.
me, and I should just get back to selling.
Yep. I love it. I love it. Cody, This has been so fun to chat. We could talk for an hour about leads and technology and all that, but I just want to say thank you for taking the time, man. Super appreciate you. How can people connect with you? You're all over
YouTube,
the
yeah.
place, but what YouTube?
Thanks,
That's
man.
it.
Dude, that's right. Also, dude, I love Alex, man. I love what you do at Agent CRM. I have a blast with you. You're one of the best people in the industry. Super ethical and brilliant freaking cat right here. Anytime we can do stuff, it's a blast. My Instagram is the best way to connect with me at Cody.Askins. Watch our stories, DM me, whatever. I jump in my social a lot. Yeah, my team helps me, but I'm in there a lot. YouTube for videos. We've got over 3,200 videos for free. And then our website, CodyAskins.com for like general stuff. And if you're like, bro, I need to try some of these Kaboom leads,
Yes.
then actually you can go to kaboomleads.com, but literally inside of our Cody CRM, our CA system with Agent
Yep.
CRM, inside of your CRM, you can learn more about Kaboom directly.
I love it. I love it. Cody, thank you for the time, my man. I'll see you later.